All right, I'm back. It's been a while. Let me just finish this Bill Cosby case real quick, and then I can probably move on to something else. But this next topic, well, technically, this next video I'm going to be doing is going to be on Barbara Bowman. You know, like I was talking about, this lying woman who accusing Bill Cosby about rape. So I'm just going to play these two videos, and we're going to get into it. You know. This is Barbara Bowman. Let's hear her story.
My name is Barbara Bowman. I was introduced to Bill Cosby when I was 17 by my agent, and I was an aspiring actress. My agent sent me in for an audition to meet Mr. Cosby. He was actually interested in working with me, so we started to rearrange my life.
You know what? Of all the stories we heard so far, for some reason, hers seems to be a little more believable. I'm not saying it's quite true, but I'm just saying it's way more believable. You know, she did not came in right away just talking about how Bill Cosby slipped her drugs and how he took advantage of her or blah blah blah. She actually had a solid story of how she came about meeting Bill Cosby, which was through being an expiring actress at the age of 17 and going through some type of agency, which I guarantee you she was probably doing acting on the side. Throughout the story, she is going to talk about how she was in college and she had to leave college to actually follow her dreams. And the thing about it is, once you get into the entertainment industry, you got to understand that, especially when you're young, a young woman, during that time, the casting couch was quite heavily popular, So, and she still kind of looked decent, for her age. I can only imagine how she was when she was 17, which I can guarantee she was a little more better, you know. So yeah, uh, like I said, she got straight into a solid and reasonable understanding of how she came about meeting Bill Cosby. She didn't just outright accuse Bill Cosby. That's what I'm saying. Her story is far more believable, you know, and it could be more relatable uh, to men and women. She doesn't seem like the person who's just bitter out of nowhere and she just out to get Bill Cosby. The rest of those women are just old angry broads that look like they're just out to get Bill Cosby. You know? So that being said, it's I give her props for that. I give her props for that, for actually easing into it and giving a better understanding of how she came about being in Bill Cosby. So let's continue.
If I dropped out of college, and the plan had been to progress my career, and he and my agent had arranged for me to move to New York City.
And what's crazy about most of these agents is they're just handlers. They're literally like, some of them gets what you call a finder's fee. You know, trust me. I know. I work for a temp agency, and something about it is they don't really tell you about how much they get paid based on a finder's fee of actually finding your job, and so they kind of go through whatever company, right, and tell them, hey, I got this blah 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 person who's willing to work for you, and then whatever they'll be like, we'll give like, $20 $25, right? So what your agent is gonna do is they're gonna literally, that money is supposed to be for you, but they take a certain percentage of that money, but they don't tell you they take a certain percentage of that money that goes in their pocket, and then they tell you like, hey, this is how much this person is willing to offer for your service. So they get to determine how much you get paid based off your work. So it's basically, like I said, it's like a pimp industry. You know, So, and that's the thing she did not quite understood, and that's the thing most agent would never ever tell you is how much money or how much worth you have once you get into a certain business. Because basically they want to get paid, but they're not going to tell you how much they're getting paid. They act like you work for them when in reality they work for you. You know. So like I was saying, if a company offers $25 an hour to pay you, they'll probably take off probably like around like $5, $8, and tell you, hey, they're willing to pay you like 17, 16. But in reality, they're actually willing to pay you $20 to $25. But they for some reason they got to make money for going through the work. But instead of just coming directly to you and just kind of negotiating, they wouldn't really tell you exactly what the job that you're going to be doing. That's the thing these agents does not tell you. They're not going to tell you what kind of job you're going to be doing, because once they tell you the job that you're supposed to be going to, what they fear is that you're going to cut them off, which they are the middleman. They're going to cut you off, and then like they feel like you're going to cut them off and just go directly to the source. They're like, okay, I know the job that you're trying to send me to go do. I could just go directly to that job and then get paid the whole money. But instead, they don't like to tell you that, because they're the middleman and they want to get paid too. But then they're going to get paid off your hard work, and they tell you how much you're going to be getting paid. But really, the company wants to pay you much more than that, and they just want to keep the rest. If you get what I'm saying. So basically, it's like a pimp service. These agents are literally like pimps. That's basically what they are. They're basically like pimps, and you're the prostitute, and they act like you work for them. But in reality, they work for you. You're the one who's making all the money. You're the one who's putting your body on the line. But yet they want to dictate and tell you how what you should do. But yeah, let's continue. And like I said, her story is a little more believable because I deal with that. I dealt with that. You know, so I know that I can relate to her. And she was 17. She was probably still underage. Really trying to make it. She still kind of got her looks a little bit. So I can imagine how she was looking when she was a little bit younger. So let's continue.
And subsidized housing and got me involved in acting classes. And the plan was that I would repay that loan over time. And
And that's the thing too. Once you get into that industry, especially, it's kind of like the same as the music industry too. If you get into, that's what these rappers don't tell you, because they have other people who are kind of like agents that put them on with record labels, right? And that record labels is literally giving them a loan and paying for every single thing they do, but yet they're pimping out the rappers, and they have to make that money back for the record label that they're getting the loan from. So every single thing she's saying, that's something that is very, very real. Not like the rest of those bras who are just out of nowhere just talking about, like, they remove every single accountability from them in which part they play in meeting up to Bill Cosby. They made this dude seem like a super predator. Like he was violently just all up on them. No origin story as to how they actually came about meeting Bill Cosby. And the thing about it too is it wasn't just like I said, they always talk about how they met Bill Cosby. I strongly believe it's not really the origin of how they actually met Bill Cosby. They just pick apart the story and pick a specific narrative that goes with this whole entire movement, or and exactly which moment in time that put Bill Cosby in the wrong. So like I say, they all end up meeting Bill Cosby before that so-called before this came about, the incident where they claim Bill Cosby raped them. Like I was talking about, the old lady was talking about, oh, she met Bill Cosby. Um, uh, she was doing a Saturday night late night show, whatever it is, and then all of a sudden, Bill Cosby just kicked in her room, and then she's like, I knew it was Bill because I seen his picture. Really? You telling me that was the first time you ever heard or seen Bill Cosby, and you all of a sudden just know it's Bill Cosby because you've seen the picture, and he just violently attack you and put his face on his genitals. Does that make sense? Like she never met Bill Cosby, and you just walk into a dressing room, and all of a sudden she started, working the longest 5 minutes of her life. That shit don't make sense to me. But hers, at least she has a valid origin story of how she actually came about meeting Bill Cosby. And that's what how she's talking and her body language is a little more sincere because I kind of believe that's true. That part of the story is true. You know, most people in college, they're all they're always trying to figure out. Everybody will go to college want to be think they're going to be some successful millionaire or something like that. And most girls they're around a lot of influence in college, and yeah. So, like I said, she was 17, young, still looked pretty probably, and her agent seemed. It's always, I'm telling you, it's always one of them creeps around college campus who walking up to girls and talking about, man, you really have a talent for acting, or you really have a talent for this and this and this. Here's my card and blah, blah, blah. It's a lot of those creeps around. I am not going to lie. And some of those girls are idiots anyways. A lot of college campus women are idiots. So, yeah, they probably bought into that. And the thing about it is, too, like I said, there is no way some dude gonna put you, some agent gonna put you in some give you all this loan, and there's no way you don't kind of compensate for that. Like I said, they probably use her, probably like a sex kitten or something like that. But damn sure it wasn't no. I don't know. She don't really look like a talented actor to me, but she was an aspiring actress, so she was aspiring to be in that. So I can't fault her for that. He can he can start from somewhere, but yeah. Anyways, that's just how the industry works, regardless of any level of the industry you go in. For some reason, if somebody give you some type of money or loan and act like they on your side and they want to push you to become greater or better than what you are, you best believe there's a finder's fee for that shit, and you're gonna pay it regardless, and that's just how the game works. But I can understand, like, she's still young. What was her parents? That's the thing. What was her parents? So you telling me you just up and leave college? You don't even have a guaranteed job at all. No guaranteed job. You just up and leave college. Parents pay for that. That's what I'm saying. And most of these agents too, girls like her went to a lot of parties in college. You know what I'm saying? They probably went to a lot of college parties, and those agents probably show up there. That's how it goes. So, like I said, the beginning of those stories seem fairly true. I can understand that, but I just think it was quite dumb of her and careless of her parents. So, and like I said, But I can understand, man. Back back then, acting was the hottest thing. You know. So yeah,
Meantime, from the very beginning, I was being groomed and manipulated and brainwashed.
that's very true. That is a very real thing in the entertainment industry, and that's why they like it when you don't have your family around. If you don't have your family around, nobody to actually get up in your ears and tell you like, hey, blah blah. Then again, a lot of these bitches are hard headed too. She looked like a hard headed pretty bitch back in the days, you know. So yeah, they like to isolate you from your family, your friends, anybody who has some type of sense, you know. So if you ask a lot of these like industry actors who actually came up, acting, a lot of them went through this type of shit. If you talk about Miranda Cosgrove from Nickelodeon, iCarly, and all that shit, you know, allegedly speaking, it'll tell you a little bit about Dan Schneider. That fat fuck. But hey, I don't knock his creativity. I can't knock Dan Schneider creativity, man. I cannot knock it because he gave me some good laugh from Drake and Josh. But, you know, with good laugh, there's always some type of sorrow behind it. So, so yeah, what's the name? What's that girl? Sam. They had a little issue with Dan Schneider. It's a lot of things, man. Even Victoria. I used to watch the show heavily, and I was just to wonder like why this shit got cancer. But at the end of the day, like you just gotta think about it. Like some of these producers, director behind, they grown these girls for them. You know what I'm saying? And Bill Cosby being a producer slash director and creative mind, of course these agents are gonna groom these girls for them. It just that's the industry. It was brutal back then. Casting couch was huge. Joel Francis was huge. Hugh Hefner was huge. Pause. Those were them days. I'm telling you, I guarantee you, probably in her younger years, she was probably on Hefner radar. And you think about it too, anybody who actually went to Playboy Mansion, come on now, you think they wasn't fucking somebody young behind closed door who wasn't really getting grown? Come on now, even Will Smith has picture. Being you even hear about Catwoman talk about the shit that goes on in that. So a lot of these girls, like I'm saying, things went down, shit happens. Like I said, I do kind of believe her story. If anybody were to actually, I would believe in this category of people that's getting raped. You can get raped on many different levels. You can get your bank account raped. You can get your mind raped, sexually raped, spiritually raped, whatever it is. But for her, I can feel, I can understand that. These agents, that's just how it goes, man. You know. But yeah.
To be drugged and raped by Bill Cosby. The times that I woke up and came to and I was disheveled and a mess with question marks in my head, confused, and I would ask him what happened, he would claim that I drank too much, that I had made a mess of myself, and that he fixed it though. He made it better.
Do you see how fluently she just speak her mind? Even if she's full of shit, hers, I can understand that. Somebody wake up and you drank too much. She didn't notice how her story isn't geared towards drugs or pills. She really didn't even speak about Bill Cosby raping her like that. You know what I'm saying? She's way more articulate about her situation. So yes, if I was to believe any victim that Bill Cosby alleged raped, it would probably be her. She seemed way more sincere. I can completely relate to going through an agent, you know, trying to get a job, I understand exactly how their mindset work. You know, so yes, her shit seems more believable. You know, waking up, you drink too much. You know, that's basically regular answers. You know, but yeah.
He cleaned me up. He cleaned up my clothes. The final incident was in Atlantic City. He tried to viciously attack me.
Okay. I don't.
Like an animal, and tried to rape me. And
You see, this is where she lost credibility with me. That viciously attack. You see, that's the type of shit that makes your argument lose a lot of steam. You know, that viciously attacking. Like, come on now. Like, what the heck? I don't even understand. How do you viciously attack somebody and rape them? Like, it's far. Like, you don't need to add viciously. Because I've heard a numerous amount of rape story pertaining to, Russell Simmons, and there's a couple of chicks who was talking about Russell Simmons and a bunch of old hoes. So there's always these old bitches coming out like 40 years later after they're like in a casket, being graves being dug for them. They come up like Undertaker. When they hear some bullshit about rape. Yeah, these women was on a panel with Gil King. I think you can search it up. And they were talking about how Russell Simmons, out of nowhere, viciously attacked him. And what's crazy is, and it's always these women aspiring to be something in the industry, and it didn't work out. Now, these guys are viciously attacking them. Viciously. And what's so fucked up too is they follow the same script. That's like, if anybody do a little bit of research and see how these women are constantly saying the same thing over and over and over instead of just believing them, you would know they're full of shit. How many times has a bunch of people have seen on the internet about the news being caught, all news channel across the globe, saying the same shit over and over? That's how these bitches work. That's how the news channel work too. They say the same. They all have the same script. All these news channel is ran by just like one studio or something like that. They're all ran by just one network. They just have all these dummy networks like Fox News, CNN, BBC. They're all ran by the same shit. So all these women are saying script some other bitch said pertaining to a whole nother person pertaining to rape. Viciously attack. I've heard that shit pertaining to Russell Simmons' case when Gil King was interviewing these dumb women. So anytime you hear some bitch talking about viciously attack, you know they're full of shit. That is a red flag right away. They're full of shit. Viciously attack. Like I'm telling you, a part of her story was like a little bit true and understandable because I could relate. Not that I was raped, but I'm just saying, pertaining to going through a temp agency when you have to find a job in a factory, But yeah, that just that's just how it is, man. But viciously, she's full of shit. Let's keep it real.
And choke me, and I thought he was going to kill me, and he threatened me directly.
Okay, now she's losing steam. When they start stuttering and batting their eyes, like I said, a lot of these women are reading up script, But the beginning of her story, that's something that is very, that's real. So
that he'd never better hear my name or see my face again. At which point, they shipped me back home to Denver with the clothes on my back. A couple.
that's how pimping works, girl. You pimped them. You pimped the person and drain them out for every single thing they got and they can produce. And then when you have no more use for them, you get rid of them. That's how the industry works. It's a pimp industry. If you're not smart enough, if you're not keeping the eyes open of who and what is around you, you are gonna get caught up in the game where automatically you're gonna get caught up in the game. So it's just a matter of fact how correctly you move. You know? It's gonna be a bunch of people around you who's trying to pull you in different direction. Learn to say no. If it doesn't feel right, walk away. If it's too much to handle, walk away. If you think no, walk away. Fame ain't worth it, man. Get a regular job and sit your ass down and, be about your business. Go for a walk, catch some sun. And that's it. It honestly isn't worth it. I'm telling you. So,
Couple of years later, when I got settled and felt confident enough, I became very friendly with another friend who encouraged.
notice how she's constantly twitching and shaking her hands and touching her ring. That is a sign of some type of kind of like a drug, somebody who's going through withdrawal or something. You know what I'm saying? You know how you start shaking, playing with your finger. It's a little bit of a withdrawal. Maybe she got hooked on. She's probably do drugs right now. I don't know. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. But she's twitching. Probably could be a nervous twitch. Probably could be she's going through some kind of alcohol, and Nana's program, and she's trying to break that kind of habit. But yeah, or I don't know, some type of addiction or something, or it is what it is. But at the end of the day, when you see somebody constantly doing something like that, it's either nervous or going through some type of withdrawal, or it's probably scared or something like that.
Me that it was safe, that I could tell an attorney, and that attorney laughed me out of his office. He did not believe me. He thought it was ridiculous and preposterous. When I heard the news,
Okay, now she's getting a little bit bold. So you went to an attorney, right? She went to an attorney, and the attorney said, I don't believe you. The bitch wait 20 years later just to hear a story told to put this nigga in jail. You know what I'm saying? The attorney did not believe you. You went about your day perfectly. Perfectly. And now somebody call you and put some check in your pocket to read a teleprompter. Now you have the confidence to tell your story. Now you got a story to tell. If she was so traumatized of the situation, and I'm pretty sure if all these women that was going through this Bill Cosby shit, right? And all these women, right, for some reason realize like this is a behavior and this is a pattern from this guy, we should all band together and start a movement or tell our stories. Hopefully somebody will listen to us enough that we can have some type of movement behind it. Because Bill Cosby was very huge back then. Like I say, they could have band together as a women's group during the feminist era and literally came out and told the story. But they didn't do shit. until somebody put a check in their pocket. Obviously, these bitches was not that traumatized enough by Bill Cosby allegation, allegedly raping them. Notice how notice how all these women just get a little bold. They always start off like sad and some shit, and now she's bold. Now she's confident. Like, yeah, I can fluently read now. I can read it right now. Like I said, all these women are getting paid to read some shit off to push a specific agenda. Why all of a sudden they can't coming out? You know?
News that Bill Cosby admitted in a deposition that he had gotten quaaludes and drugs to drug young women. It was like 28 years of silence.
I'm gonna tell you something. One thing this whole entire Bill Cosby thing was going on, I learned something. They'll always talk about Bill Cosby brought them drugs and did this to them, right? Did you ever take into consideration that a lot of these women actually had their own drugs? Like, they bought their own drugs, they carry their own drugs? Because I'm pretty sure this was the era where a lot of people was doing drugs. And a lot of these women carry drugs around with them. Because think about it. If you're not finding work as an actor, you're kind of depressed, you're not feeling right, you really want to make it, but it's not really in your hand. So a lot of these people, even a lot of those supermodels too, they're all doing cocaine and all this bullshit. Like I said, y'all never took into consideration that these women actually brought their own drugs. They actually had their own drugs, and they actually drugged themselves, and then blame it on Bill Cosby, all because they felt like the career is never gonna go nowhere, or it's never going anywhere. So while they're accusing Bill Cosby of drugging them, think about it. What if they had their own drugs? They brought their own drugs just to fit in, just to go along and get along. Just to make them more interesting. Because if you think about it, a lot of these guys have women around them all the time, who they saw as an opportunity. These women saw them as an opportunity to boost their career. Notice all these women came to Bill Cosby to boost their career. You know what I'm saying? You ever thought about some of these agents probably give them drugs and say, hey, you'll probably be way more interesting if you're like on this? A lot of these models will tell you this behind a quiet as kept. A lot of them are giving drugs. A lot of them are giving drugs just to, one, keep skinny, stay thin, and be able to perform better. And it's mainly who? The agent. Not necessarily the photographer. Yes, the photographer do give them some shit, but sometimes they bring their own shit because they're depressed and anorexic as hell. They're told they can't eat. Cocaine helped them stay skinny. So yes, I strongly believe some of these women literally had their own drugs and they drugged themselves, and they see it as an opportunity to accuse Bill Cosby because it's a quote unquote it's trends. So think about this, people. If any women come out and saying some dude kind of drug them or rape them or do something like that, you gotta think like women can drug men too. Because nowadays all these women do drugs. They have their own drugs. You necessarily don't gotta give them drugs. They'll fucking drug dealer for free to get some drugs. And they know if they look like a hoe from their own drugs, now they gotta blame the guy who they woke up next to, accusing them that he drugged them. So I don't think Bill Cosby just out here handing these bitches drugs. They probably had their own. That's...
Violence and discreditation went bye-bye.
Why does she sound so happy telling us about her story about being drugs and, and rape? Like, why do these women all look happy to just tell this story? Obviously, they're not that traumatized. That's what I'm saying. Like, don't listen to these women's their words. Pay attention to the action, man. You know, they full of shit. Like I said, a beginning part of her story, you know, understandable, relatable, but the end it just shows like, okay, you know what it is already. But yeah.
It's about time that people sat up and listened, so it was a feeling of elation.
She's full of shit too. But anyways, like I just told you before, let's just get to the next story, alright? You know. This one is Lily Bernard. Pro-black fist in the air, marching with Martin Luther King. You know. Black power, you know. I don't know what Bill Cosby did to this one, but he definitely about to get it. He definitely about to get it.
My name is Lily Bernard.
Tell us, Lily.
In the early 1990s, in my mid-20s, Bill Cosby mentored me. He gained my total trust. And then he drugged me without my knowledge.
Like I was telling you, this is how you know they're full of shit. Notice what I said about the first girl's story, how she gave an origin story, and I just jumped into Bill Cosby raping her right away and giving her drugs. Why don't you tell about how, like, what was he mentoring? You know, doggy style, missionary, you know? She's not going to talk about that because she said Bill Cosby was mentoring her. Mentoring what? No. They were sleeping together. Bill Cosby ain't got time to mentor her. Let's be honest. She was probably cute back in the days, you know, real hair, you know. Bill Cosby ain't gonna be mentoring this. I damn sure would not be. I'm not mentoring this. Yo, doesn't she look like the picture of? I got a wave grease, you know, to keep my hair all waving. She looked like one of them old school, you know, palm butter oil for hair, you know, that you can just pick it up. That she looked like one of them logos. But Bill Cosby wasn't mentoring her. Bill Cosby, I'm trying to be a little more professional. You know how I speak. Bill Cosby was having coitus. Bill Cosby was getting it in with her, man. She full of shit. No. You notice how all these women Bill Cosby came into contact with, they were all, he was all somehow trying to elevate them to the status of career-wise or something like that. And he was just being a mentor. Like I said, Bill Cosby was not mentoring her. They were probably sleeping together. They were probably, because Bill Cosby was the talk of the time back in the days. You know, it was hot. Everybody wanted to be on Bill Cosby list. They want to get put on. Come on now. So she lying. Like I said, Bill Cosby was mentoring her, and he was, you know, having a relation with her. So she can't just come out of nowhere and talk about Bill Cosby was mentoring her and he just slipped her pills and then boom, that's it, he raped her. Let's hear what she got to say again.
Mentored me. He gained my total trust. And then he drugged me without my knowledge. He raped me. I wouldn't call him crazy.
He was mentoring her. Meaning, it wasn't just one day he decided to mentor her and then gain her trust and then slip her a pill and then raped her. You telling me all that shit happened? She explained this shit in a way she don't even quite understand, that she just explaining things that happen in one day. You don't just mentor somebody for one day. It's a period of time over their career. So either he was having a relationship with you over the period of time throughout your career, and down the line you guys end up in some type of relation, and you're probably get high, did some drugs, and have some sex, and shit happens. You know, of course you don't just gain somebody's trust just over one night. It's called trust. You know what I'm saying? You earn trust. You know? I don't know where she coming from. He was just a mentor for me for 24 hours and then he drugged me. Bullshit.
He raped me. I wouldn't call him crazy, excuse me. I would not once did I ever think that Bill Cosby was crazy or insane.
I don't know. A lot of these women claim that he violently attacked them, so sounds like an insane sound like an insane man to me. An insane crazy man. You say he was mentoring you, gave you drugs and drug you, and then raped you. I don't know. Sound like an insane person to me. Sound like only insane and crazy people would do some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? No regular people are just gonna just gain somebody's trust unless they actually have an agenda. And they'll slip them a pill. So you're describing a deranged, crazy person right there. So I don't know what she's talking about. But we're gonna hear more.
Was crazy or insane. I felt that he was very much in control of his behavior. He was very calculating.
Yeah, most deranged, crazy, maniac are pretty in control. They know exactly what they're doing. You know, crazy people tend to know what they're doing. You know, so I don't know what she's talking about. You can be in control, you can still be crazy. Look at your politician. Look at your business people. Look at some of your director, actors. For Christ's sake. Y'all call Trump crazy. Deranged. A violent But guess what? He had to be in control to come. So I don't know what you're talking about.
I felt that he was very much in control of his behavior. I would not once did I ever think that Bill Cosby was crazy or insane. I felt that he was very much in control of his behavior. He was very calculating. He was very manipulative. He knew exactly what he was doing. Not only have we formed a sisterhood amongst us survivors, but we've also become like new aunties.
What is this, survivors? Is there a couple of y'all that died or something like that, and you guys are the remaining? Like Bill Cosby raped a couple bitches that's far gone now. You guys are survivors. Like, are they dead or something? Oh my God, these women have no idea what they're saying and how they're saying that. They're just saying it, you know. Because, like I said, they're told to say that they're getting paid. You know, 1 minute they want to look like a goddamn angel wearing a white outfit, and next they want to wear all black. I don't know why the fuck they're doing that, but it seems to be some type of color coding, you know, agenda shit going on. Just so I don't know.
Each other's daughters. You should not let any person who does harm to your body get away with not being brought to justice.
Okay, first of all, you should not let anybody do harm to your body without getting away and getting justice. Y'all let this nigga get away for like 20 plus years. What makes it now y'all want to speak up? Y'all let this dude chill out for years and years and years. Y'all didn't say shit until somebody hand you a check, tell you to come read a scripted story accusing this man. You know? So, you'll allow him to get away. But now, you got some courage to speak up. Like I'm saying, a lot of these women behind the scenes are being paid to say this nonsense. And a lot, they're just reading off a script. You know? It's right there. They're just reading off shit.
I had to tell that to my daughter. I had to speak up for my daughter. This is real.
Oh, get the fuck out of it. I guarantee you before the end of the story, she's going to buck up right away and like all brave and smiling and shit. Now she wants to tear up. Nobody feels sorry for you.
I'm gonna lose it.
Oh, come on. God, not only are you a bad actor here, your career failed because we were mentoring. No wonder Bill Cosby got rid of you. You know? He was like, I'm done mentoring her. She's a bad actor. Terrible. Come on now. Stop bullshitting. Oh, come on. Come on. Look at his face. Two holes in a pot. That's what they are. They lying, man. Oh my gosh. Anyways, that's the end of this Bill Cosby series. I hope you guys like, share, subscribe, you know. Because, you know, like I said, I've been in Bill Cosby's story. I mean, Spot being accused of rape and all that shit. Bitch lied, obviously. And, like I said, these bitches don't lose their job when they accuse men of heinous act. Obviously, that she was lying. But instead, these girls are always on code, you know? So, even though they knew she was full of shit, they still decided to investigate. Even though they knew she was lying, they still decided to investigate it. And then when it came out, she was actually lying. You want to know something? The bitches that actually pushed for the investigation disappeared. It was just HR and me. after my manager found out, oh shit, like this shit was bullshit. Instead of her showing her face or apologize, she dip out. I'm like, damn. Now I'm getting a half-ass apology, and then the bitch still gets to work. I'm like, there is no consequences to her action. She just gets to keep her job. I guess to walk by the bitch every single day, knowing like, what the fuck? Are you serious? Like, they made me sign a non-retaliation act just for her ass, no consequence. Even all the other girls wondering, like, damn, like, yo, you're serious? That says a lot, you know. But it is what it is. Don't get caught up. Like I said, you know, if you're gonna have sex, make sure you carry a plan B and make sure they take it first. You don't want no unexpected pregnancy. Always carry a plan B and have them take it first. You know, just in case you don't have condoms. You know, you have 3 days to have your fun. So, yep. Peace.